Hey, what's happening, all you most amazing top 10ers? Thank you guys so much for coming back. I'm Landon, and this is where I'm gonna try to entertain you guys in a top 10 list. So this right here is a top 10 greatest fight scenes in movies. So let me ask you guys, what top 10 video would you guys like to see next? Let me know in the comment section below, because you guys could be responsible for a future most amazing top 10 video. So starting us off in this list, in at number 10, we have Bruce Lee. This is a strong start. I'm talking about Bruce Lee versus Han. And no, I'm not talking about like Bruce Lee versus Han Solo from Star Wars. I'm talking about a fight that happened in the movie Enter the Dragon. And we might have another Bruce Lee fight scene in this video, so let me know if you guys can guess which one it is. So Enter the Dragon was a movie that came out in 1973, which is actually the same year Bruce Lee died. Well, this fight starts off with like a now famous line.
You have offended my family, and you have offended the Shaolin Temple.
Then they get to the fight. The guy Bruce Lee is fighting has like Wolverine-like claws. This fight really shows Bruce Lee's speed and power, and there's parts where Bruce Lee jumps very high without any effects. Han was able to get a few slashes in on Bruce Lee. There was blood everywhere. Bruce Lee had all these cuts on him, but he came out on top. Now we have Kill Bill, which is an awesome movie starring a female lead role, and this character did a whole lot of ass whooping. Okay, so coming into number 9, we have The Bride versus the Crazy 88. And this is where The Bride is played by Uma Thurman. She takes on a ton of people with swords. The scene in the movie was very dark. There was a blue screen in the background, and you can hear a lot of blood pouring out of these people, and people are being sliced up. But you don't really see much until someone turns on the light, and in the end, everyone is dead and there's blood everywhere. Okay, one of my favorite movies of all time comes into number 8. And I'm talking about the Bourne Ultimatum movie, Bourne versus Dash. And this is where Bourne starts off jumping through windows and hallways doing parkour. Bourne is trying to save a woman's life who has an assassin who is trying to kill her. This guy is a trained killer, but the Bourne manages to hold his ground and perform complex stunts to defeat the crazy killer. It all ended with the chokehold that killed Dash. And at number 7, we have this guy right here, Jason Statham. And I'm talking about the role in the Transporter movie, where he takes on a couple of bad guys, but they're no match to Jason's training and skills of improvising with his surroundings. He was overmatched with people coming at him in every direction. There was a scene where there was at least 20 guys inside of a bus and he was surrounded. He was able to take on all of them in a very intense fight. Just when he thought Jason Statham was gonna win, all these men grab out weapons that they found on the bus. But then Jason finds a knife and was able to injure every single person inside. Okay, it's very hard to not include my icon, like this is the guy I look up to. I'm talking about Arnold Schwarzenegger. I can say his last name, but I may not be able to spell it, but he comes in to number 6. So let me take you guys to Terminator 2 Judgment Day, where there was a fight between the T-800 and the T-1000. The T-800 was Arnold Schwarzenegger's character. He was trying to save the world. And the T-1000 was a more advanced Terminator, but it made for an amazing fight scene. This was the ending of the movie, this fight I'm talking about. It's quite sad, but the T-1000 got the upper hand and was able to crush Arnold. Well, when you thought it was all over and the bad guy just won, Arnold reboots and he was able to come back with half a body, and he was able to destroy the T-1000 with a single shot that threw him into lava. Okay, have you guys watched this movie? I grew up with it. I liked it. Maybe when I was younger I didn't know what it was about. There's a lot of fighting in it, but I'm talking about Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon. And this movie comes into number 5. So there is this sword scene, and it's probably one of the most iconic, amazing like sword fighting scenes ever in the movies. There was a lot of effects used in it, fast motion, but it's between two girls and they're fighting to protect their lives. A lot of the special effects used was people flying through the air and very fast movements mixed in with a lot of camera angles and sound effects. In this fight, there were so many different weapons used, and it was so intense because you actually didn't know who was gonna win. And the thing is that this fight could end at any moment. Fight scenes don't get much better than that, which made it very difficult to pick number 4. But in at number 4, we have another iconic fight scene. And like I said earlier, I'm gonna have another Bruce Lee fight scene on this list, and I told you guys to try to guess it. Well, did you guys guess it was gonna be Bruce Lee versus Chuck Norris? So this is Chuck Norris's debut in a big action movie, and what better way to get into the movies by starring starting with a classic Bruce Lee film. So the fight I'm talking about happened in The Way of the Dragon, which came out in 1972, and it took place in the Colosseum in Italy. This fight was so popular that it's still talked about today. At the beginning, the two men started off stretching, and then the fight soon begins with a whole lot of kicks where Chuck Norris started with the upper hand. The fight happened so fast that producers actually asked Bruce Lee to slow it down because they couldn't catch his punches or kicks on the camera. So the fight ended with, who do you guys think? Chuck Norris or Bruce Lee? Well, if you guys guessed Chuck Norris, you'd be wrong. Bruce Lee is your winner. Okay, so what's better than that is The Matrix, and this comes into number 3. Matrix came out in 1999. The main character, who is played by Keanu Reeves, so this is a very popular movie because of its special effects. The best one that stands out is Neo versus Agent Smith. They just can't seem to defeat one another. Okay, so for sure, we can't forget about the film Rocky. Well, Sylvester Stallone fights his way into this list in at number 2. So the movie came out in 1976, and it was actually written by Sylvester Stallone. The best fight scene in Rocky was the final fight scene where you didn't know as the audience who was gonna win this one. Rocky was knocked out many times, the crowd was so into it, but with Rocky's heart, he kept getting up, he kept getting back into the fight, showing the audience that you should never give up, you should be persistent in life. It was one of the most heartfelt, inspiring movie fight scenes of all time. Okay, so finally, we've all made it into number 1 spot, but quickly, let's recap, let's remind you of everything we've had so far on this list. We've had Bourne taking on a trained assassin, Arnold Schwarzenegger taking on a T-1000 that was way more advanced than he was, Neo finally beat Agent Smith, we've had a few Bruce Lee fights, well finally, in at number 1 is probably one of the most iconic things ever, and how do you not include this? The movie just came out, you guys know I'm talking about Star Wars, and the fight I'm talking about is Luke Skywalker versus his father, Anakin, aka Darth Vader. The movie they fought each other was in The Empire Strikes Back. They fought with so much hatred. So the two went after each other for almost 10 minutes, where it ended off with Darth Vader cutting off Luke's hand. Darth Vader then said, "There is no escape, don't make me destroy you." Well, that was one of the greatest fight scenes in history. Let me know if I've missed any. Maybe you guys thought another fight scene was better than any of these ones on the list. Maybe I missed a few. What was your number 1? Let me know everything in the comment section below, guys. Thanks so much for all your support, and I'll see you guys all in the next one. So let me know what you guys think of this video in the comment section below. These videos is so much fun to make, and we're like pretty close to 1 million if we didn't hit it already. We're so close to 1 million subscribers on this channel, which is so amazing, but it's because of you guys. You guys are like the most amazing people ever, and I thank you guys for it. If you want to continue watching videos, there's 2 videos right beside me. Also down below is the subscribe button if you want to subscribe. Help us to that 1 million if we're not there yet. And that's it for me. I'll see you all in the next one, and I can't wait. Bye.